welcome back to the Brunch Beauty Life podcast. I'm your host, Connie, the Inspiring Stylist.
And I'm Ashley. I'm naturally Ashley Rose.
Make sure you are following us on all
Forget
platforms.
my name.
It's been a long season. Make sure you are following us on all platforms. Brunch Beauty Life podcast.
And also make sure you like, share, and comment as well.
And subscribe.
Yes, subscribe as well.
We got the giggles.
Yes.
So, Ashley, you had a birthday. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Yes, when we first started recording, it was summer, and now it's winter. And it's my birthday, and I just turned 41.
Woo woo! Congratulations! Happy
Thank
birthday!
you.
The
Thank
the
you.
the crossover into the 40s.
Yes. Yes, I'm no longer just 40. I'm now 41. Closer to 50 than I am to
No,
30.
we're not even going to go there. Anyways, so from our last episode, we talked about accountability in business. So we're going to follow up with accountability in relationships. This is personal relationships, like with your friends, with your family, as well as your significant other. So let's hit it because I have a little Google.
Yes,
Okay.
we like to Google with definitions, guys.
Yes, I asked Google what does taking accountability in a relationship means. It says it's acknowledging your own mistakes or missteps, accepting responsibility for your actions, and actively working to rectify any harm caused to your partner, demonstrating honesty and commitment to positive change within the relationship. It says one of the key aspects in taking accountability is owning your actions. That means be upfront with your behaviors and avoid making excuses or blaming your partner. Let's start with that one.
Okay. I would say I'm very accountable in my relationships.
Is it always easy to take accountability?
No.
At least you're honest.
Especially when you feel like you didn't do anything wrong, but you have to listen to your partner or your friend or your family member, and you have to, understand how they feel, and also understand that two things can be true at the same time. That you might still be right, and they are hurt about it. So, I mean, but, it also is not easy to hear what you've done wrong or that you've wronged someone, especially if you care about them. So it hurts a little bit. And, especially if you feel like you were right, you don't want to hurt somebody just to be right. So, it's not easy.
Okay.
But I would say I'm pretty accountable. And even taking a beat to be accountable. So when the person tells me something, I try my best to really listen and not listen to respond, and take a beat so I can really hear what they're saying.
I like that. Listen, but not listen to respond.
Yes.
So I think that's somewhat my problem.
Okay.
Okay. I don't have a problem taking accountability for my actions, because at the end of the day, is that person's experience with you. So whatever they are experiencing with you is some type of truth, right? Because that's their experience. I can't take away from you what you are experiencing with me or what I may have or have not did to, offend you or whatnot, right?
Yes.
It's never necessarily my intention, you know? So there might be a situation where you've done something and your partner feels offended by what you did, but it wasn't your intention to offend them. Like, that wasn't the intention, but that was the outcome, right? So you do have to take accountability for that. I think sometimes for me personally, it's not that it's hard to take accountability. It's just that, like, if you're going to call me out on something, I'm okay with that, but I'm not okay with it when you've done something similar and or worse.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? And then when I called you out on it, it was like, downplayed or whatever the case may be. That's when I have a problem, because it's like,
But you just,
and then I think that's the part that, makes the situation worse, because if instantly you kind of go into like defense mode, because it's like, well, is it not the same when you did XYZ or similar? But not that I'm trying to be tit for tat, but if it wasn't a problem for that, then I don't mean, like, I don't understand why, this is a problem. And then when you say things like, well, I don't understand why this is a problem, that's not taking accountability, right?
yes.
So I'm learning, I have learned, and I'm still learning because it's a process, to say, hey, you know what? Yes, I did what you said I did. While it was never my intention to make you feel some type of way, I see that it has. How can we fix this and move forward?
And that works, yes. But also that your partner has to come to the playing field with that same aspect of accountability.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that probably why it's like, well, but you just did this and I didn't respond that way, is because that person doesn't feel the need to hold themselves accountable.
Mm-hmm.
And I see it all the time, like in my family dynamics and family relationships. For instance, I'll go ahead and put my business on Front Street.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a falling out with a cousin, and so we don't talk, we don't hang, we don't nothing. Now she's still my family, absolutely. If she needed me, I'll be there. But outside of that, family is family and friends are friends. We are family, but we are not friends, right? So she, it was my birthday party. It's actually supposed to be my surprise 30th birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know anything about it. I knew when it was. I just told my sister I want to know when it is and how I should dress. But that's all I want to know. I don't want to know anything else about the party. I want you to throw me a surprise party. Mm-hmm. And so in the course of doing that, there was a surprise dinner as well as a surprise party.
Okay.
And one of my cousins was not invited to the dinner. And it wasn't on purpose. It was completely a miss that person. Mm-hmm. But the way that I found out about it is because they messaged the wrong person. They thought they were messaging my sister, but they messaged someone else. And then that person messaged me and was like, hey, what's going on with this about your cousin not coming to this dinner? Because I don't know nothing about it. So not only did I find out that I had a dinner that I wasn't supposed to know about, but I now know there's a problem behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. So then I got with my sister and we talked and everything. And she was like, oh my gosh, it was complete mishap. I did not mean to not invite her. Definitely she can come. But it was a whole stink made about that, right? Whole thing. We owned up to it, said we were sorry, made sure you understood that you can come to the dinner, but no, it was a whole big thing. So fast forward some years later, the same cousin had a birthday where she went out on the yacht with other friends and family members. I was not invited. Mm-hmm. My aunts were very upset about that and was like, well, you all got upset about Ashley's thing, but now here y'all are not inviting her to this yacht thing or whatever. Like, what was that about? Mm-hmm. And the same cousin that made this, the cousin whose birthday it was, didn't even make the huge stink. It was another cousin that went off and was like, why isn't she invited, this and that? Mm-hmm. That same cousin said, well, it wasn't my party, so I can't control the guest list. And that's where it's like, you can be accountable as much as you can. That whole long story, backstory for that is
right.
That you can be accountable and make a change. And, even though we weren't in the wrong, nothing was done malicious in that way to not invite the cousin. But we did everything we could to make the situation better. But other people don't have the same accountability.
Right.
Because then that could have been the same behavior or way that you took on her not being invited to the dinner. You could have just said, well, it's her party, and whoever is invited, and let it be that. Mm-hmm.
So that kind of goes into the next part, which is honest communication, right? Mm-hmm. Openly discuss your concerns and how your actions impacted your partner by using I statements. So in your example, that's what happened. It was a misunderstanding. It was an accident. But some people, take that and run with it and let that be grounds to do what it is that comes next. And then the intentions behind that change. It's one thing when you do something accidentally. It's another thing when you do something intentional.
Yes, exactly. So they took something that was an accident and then turned it into something intentional.
Now, active listening. Pay attention to your partner's perspective and try to understand their feelings. I think a lot of people struggle with this one. Because again, we're so busy. If your partner is saying something, you're right there like, but no, it wasn't, whatever, duh, right? Like, so when you're doing that, and when you're interrupting, rolling eyes, whatever, you're not actively listening.
Yes.
You're not.
That's something I had to work on.
Okay.
To work on listening to listen and not to listen to respond, because I'll be ready. I'm just sitting there ready. You done yet? You stop talking.
I'm gonna let you finish. I'm gonna
Meanwhile,
let you finish.
foot jumping, ready to go in. But I've learned now to listen so that I can really hear and make sure I'm really hearing what the actual issue is, and not be ready to justify my actions.
And one thing with that, with active listening, I found that, let's say this is not something minor or something bigger, right? It's okay to take notes while your partner or, whoever the person that you're dealing with is talking. It's okay to take notes. So that way you don't miss anything. It's not like, okay, I got a rebuttal for this, I got a rebuttal for that. It's just to really ensure that you're hearing your partner.
Yes.
But you also have to communicate that with your partner or whoever, because some people would look at that like, oh, you being rude.
Yeah.
Right. If they don't know, they don't know that might be what you need to do, so you can make sure that you are actively listening and understanding their perspective. So, I just wanted to put that out there, that that's okay to do too.
Yes.
Apologizing sincerely. So, how do you apologize sincerely when you don't feel like you're in the wrong? This is one thing to realize that you're in the wrong and you be like, dang, you know what? I made a mistake, And then you come back and say, you know what, babe? I'm sorry. I mean, I've had to do that sometimes. There's been situations where after the fact, I might just take a step back and just look at the whole thing as a whole and say, okay, you know what? Maybe I overreacted.
I think it's going to be able to sincerely apologize. That person has to really feel and understand where your hurt and your frustration is coming from. So what I've had to learn to do is, when I listen to those feeling words, this made me feel this way. My feelings are hurt. I'm hurt that you said XYZ or anything like that. That then makes me be like, okay, this is how they feel. Although in my head, I'm also saying, but feelings ain't facts. I will say it in my head real quick, just so I can at least get that out, and then I can push it back. And then say, you know what? I apologize for how that made you feel. And, taking their feelings into account. Because with a loved one, you don't want to hurt them. So I can apologize sincerely if someone I love felt like I hurt them. But feelings aren't facts. And
no, we are talking about taking accountability.
And I'm still right. No, I'm joking.
No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. This is about taking accountability. Okay, so after that comes committing to change. So you are identifying the areas. Let's see. It says you identify what you need to improve and actively work towards positive change in your relationship or your behavior. So in other words, okay, so now you know that this is an issue. I like to
Yes.
say this to the girls at the salon all the time, right? If I'm doing something that's annoying you or bothering you, until you tell me, I'm going to keep doing it. And and it's not because I'm trying to be mean, I'm just trying to be annoying or anything like that. It's because I don't know that what I'm doing is having an effect on you. So until you come to me and say, hey, when you do XYZ, I don't like it because it makes me feel like blah 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 blah. Now you're bringing that attention to the situation, right? Now I am aware, and now I could be mindful of how I maneuver, right? So if someone comes to you and whatever the situation is, like I have a good one. I see this a lot in relationships, right? When it comes to posting. So if you're in a committed relationship, people should be mindful of what they post, right?
Yes.
So as a woman, if you're in a relationship with, your significant other, should you be posting, booty shots? Hey, should you be posting you twerking and doing all that? Probably not. It doesn't necessarily send out the right messages, right? But let's just look. But let's just say you do that, and your partner says, "Babe, I don't like it when you post this. You're my woman." And I don't want that type of attention on you, right? It's not that they're trying to be controlling, right? This, y'all together and they want to be respected. So, you can apologize, babe. I'm sorry. I didn't know, that these posts would make you feel some type of way. These comments, these likes, whatever would make you feel some type of way. But you know what? Moving forward, I will be very mindful about what I post. I will be very mindful about how I engage with the people that are commenting on my posts. And then you move forward. And then moving forward, if you relapse, if you relapse, then it's a problem, right? But if you show that you are actively moving forward and you're being mindful in that manner, that shows your partner like, okay, she's trying, or vice versa. He did something. Okay, he's showing me now. He's trying.
Or you could just
Go ahead, say it.
take them off the off the close friends list and just post all that stuff in the close friends.
No, that is not.
That's not taking accountability.
That is
guys.
not taking accountability. That's defeating the whole purpose. Okay, so don't listen to what she just said.
Don't do that.
Don't listen to what she just said. Listen
Don't
to me.
do that.
Listen to me. Don't listen to her. Okay, so now why is taking accountability important?
Taking accountability is important because it's showing self-awareness. You have to be kind of self-aware to take accountability and also understand that we are all imperfect beings. No one is perfect. Mm-hmm. And when you don't take accountability, it basically shows that you don't really have at least to me, a compass of what right and wrong is. Mm-hmm. And what does that look like. Mm-hmm. So and then it puts a bad point for you to not end up trusting the person.
Okay.
It takes away trust because I would definitely, like, if you're, constantly doing the same thing over and over again and you don't see that what you're doing is wrong, even though I've told you how it made me feel, then I could trust that you're definitely going to do it again and you're definitely going to upset me. And
then we have a problem.
We're going to continue to have problems, mm-hmm. which would make me renegotiate the whole relationship, which is promoting each other to friends.
Yes. So it says taking accountability is important because, one, it builds trust, right? Mm-hmm. When you take responsibility for your actions, it fosters trust and it strengthens the relationship. We all go through our things. We all go through ups and downs, but it's about how we can go through this situation to get to the next. How can we build from this? Because people that's been married for 20, 30, 40 plus years until the day they died, they didn't have no white picket fence relationship. They done went through some things.
Yes.
A lot of things. Yes. But it's about how they got through those things. It reduces conflict by addressing issues directly and avoiding the blame game. So you don't want to minimize the conflict.
Mm-hmm.
It promotes healthy communication, and it encourages personal growth.
Yes. And we should always aim and strive to grow. I feel that the moment that you stop trying to grow, then what are you here for?
Mm-hmm.
Should always be in a place of learning and growing.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually one of the things I admire my aunts and my mom for.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're in there, now they're hitting towards the end of 60, and we still have conversations, and we'll, you know, I don't like it when you do this and that. It makes me feel some way about
Mm-hmm.
that. And before, it used to be like, well, that's what I do, and that's it, you know?
And deal with it. So what? And this
Yeah.
how I am. I ain't changing.
I'm not changing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, you got to love me and accept me for who I am.
Stop trying to change me.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's just, you know, oh, okay, I'm sorry that it made you feel that way, and I'll try.
Mm-hmm.
And that's as much as I think I'm going to get from them. And even though they do it, they will still do the same thing over.
Yeah,
I know
but you
that
take
they
it for
will
what it
try.
is.
They do try.
Yeah.
But they're in their late 60s and still open to, you know, the fact that they're not perfect, or that they do things that offend me or offend us and upset us, but they are trying to grow with us. So I appreciate that. So that also is to say that it's never enough or done of growing and trying to become
absolutely
a
not.
better person.
Yes.
I feel that you should always be your best and not the best, because the best is always going to be a list of what the best is, and no one's always going to be able to meet that. So
No
always
one's
my
perfect.
goal is to be my best.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stand when people are saying, I'm going to give you the best version of me, because that's not realistic.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a version.
Mm-hmm.
It's not completely who you are. It is one part of who you are. And if you're always giving me the best version of yourself, then what's going to happen when I see the non-best aspects?
Mm-hmm.
You know, am I still going to love that person? Am I still going to care about that person? So, you know, just always do your best to change and to grow.
Mm-hmm.
And that accountability does help with that.
I love it. Well, that's what we have for you for accountability for this episode. So again, make sure you like, follow, subscribe, share, comment, all of the above at Brunch Beauty Life Podcast. And don't go too far away, because we're coming right back like this for our season finale.
And also, take them off that close friends, okay? Take them off.
Listen to her. That's not going to solve the problem.
Take them off the close
That's
friends.
not going to solve the problem. All right, tune
Post
in.
what you want in the close friends and take them off.
Don't listen to her. Gonna be like, Connie, you was right. Don't listen to that. All right, y'all. We catch you next.